Alright, what is up? It's been a minute since I've done one of these. However, it is patch note review time. And I've already read through these, just obviously, spoiler. Well, not spoiler, because I'm not going to say anything that happens later. But spoiler, I've already read through them. So I know what's going to happen, so my reaction is obviously going to be tamed. However, I will say I'm very, very excited for these patch notes. There are some fantastic things in here that I've been wanting personally, and that the game has been needing for quite a while. So let's just get right into it. There's a bunch of issues fixed here that I don't really think matter. Like, I mean, the trap was swinging abnormally. No one cares. Friend invitations, like this is just mostly quality of life bug fixes that were happening. This is probably one of the only ones that actually. Well, two of these are the only ones that actually matter. This is cool because you can get your color name again, and this one. Okay. So before, if you don't know, the halberd had no sour spot, so no matter where you hit with the weapon would do full damage. This has now been fixed. So if you hit with like the stick part of the halberd, it does way less damage, which means this weapon that was already bad is now even worse. So you're probably never going to use halberd ever again until they buff it. So that weapon sucks. Um, Other stuff here doesn't really. Okay, this is. I think this is where the issues stop right here. Now this one is big. Everything after this branch is big. Magical shields no longer stack with each other and are overwritten by new ones. So what this means is, if, for example, let's take wizard because wizard's going to be like the wizard's like the main reason this happened. Their passive shield, the reactive shield they have when they take damage that absorbs damage, cleric protection spell, and protection potion. Before, all three of these could be stacked at the same time, and you'd effectively have a shield for like 100 HP. Now, each time a new one is applied to you, it'll remove the one from before. So, if a cleric hits you with a protection spell, and then you protection potion, and then you get meleeed, all of those will like the first, like the protection spell will get canceled out by the protection potion. The protection potion will get canceled out by the reactive shield. So then you only have one. So effectively, you only have one shield active at a time. Is how I understand it, which would be fantastic because now you can't like have like an extra 50 HP just because your cleric used protection and used protection potion, which means the spell protection loses a lot of its value now. But that isn't as relevant, and I will show you why a bit later. Armor ratings curve table has been updated at the very upper range. We don't know if this is good or bad. We don't know if this means that it'll be harder to get higher amounts or it'll be easier to get higher amounts. We'll find out in the game, I guess. This one's big. Magical powers curve table is updated so more will is required for magical damage. This is absolutely amazing. This is completely needed. Before, will was pretty much an irrelevant stat, and you didn't actually need to build it. You could just build additional damage, and that's where all your damage came from. There are wizards out there literally running base level will, still one-shotting you, so absolutely needed. Sorry if you hear me eating. I got food, but I had to record this. So, Rogue's Dagger Mastery physical power bonus has been changed from 20% to 15%. They did this because a little bit farther down, they buff all the Rogue's weapons. They buff all the daggers, so I understand why they did this. Cutthroat cooldown changed from 14 seconds to 18 seconds was needed. Cutthroat duration changed from 5 seconds to 4 seconds, which is also needed because the big thing about these Rogue nerfs is they effectively nerf squishies by nerfing all the shields and everything, and how they buff daggers. So Rogue needed nerfs corresponding. Also, Rogue was obviously just one of the best characters in the game. Shadowrunner movement speed bonus change from 15% to 10%. Fantastic. Then we get Ranger buffs. Big Ranger buffs. I don't honestly. I think you could say these are too big. I don't understand why I did it. Okay. Ranger's quickfire cooldown changed from 24 seconds to 18 seconds. Quick shot cooldown changed from 28 seconds to 22 seconds. Multi-shot cooldown changed from 28 seconds to 22 seconds. Forceful shot cooldown from 24 seconds to 18 seconds. And penetrating shot cooldown changed from 24 seconds to 18 seconds. So this is obviously like 6 seconds off of every one of their skills pretty much. For most of these, it doesn't matter. So the thing is, one of the big problems... Okay, the problem with a lot of these buffs is they're irrelevant. The cooldown isn't going to change which ranger skills are used. They're still going to run their triple shot, and they're probably still going to run either penetrating shot or biscuits. That's not going to change. Like, the cooldown isn't why these other skills aren't used, because they have the exact same cooldown as some other spells that the rangers have. The reason they're not used is because they're not good, right? Like, it's literally just what it comes down to. You need to, like, these need to be, like, some of these other ones need to be changed in a meaningful way that isn't just a cooldown. They need to either have something new, more damage, more whatever their skill does, something like that. They need something more meaningful. Alright, Cleric's Earthquake and Locust Swarm spell count increased from 1 to 2. This is what I mentioned earlier about protection gonna be or protection being irrelevant now, not really mattering because now clerics can just run earthquake again. Because so you take protection off, you're putting on earthquake. Most likely, it's probably what's just gonna happen. And with rangers being buffed as well, clerics getting more earthquakes is kind of insane. So now we have ranger cleric buffs. So that's gonna be interesting. Looks like ranger clerics will be back in the meta quite a bit. Then we have wizard lightning strike damage reduced from 35 to 30. Fantastic. Keep in mind this seems like a small nerf. However, they did already nerf them before with the will change. So wizards need to build more will to get more damage, which is great. Wizard's lightning strike area range from 100 to 75, which is great. It's just 25% range nerf. Fantastic. And Wizard's magic missile damage reduced from 12 to 9, so 3 damage off of each missile. I think they shoot like, what, 8 missiles? That's 24 damage in total off. Fantastic. Not to mention, that's just 24 base damage. With all the scaling, it's actually going to be a lot more, which is, like I said, wonderful. This also means with them adding the needing more will for more power, your base damage won't be as high. You're going to need more scaling damage. You're going to need better gear, so you won't be doing as much damage with as little gear. And wizard magic missiles can no longer pierce shields. Yes, we can now block magic missile, which is amazing. Fantastic. There's no longer is your shield pretty much irrelevant for wizards. Now you can actually block it and it makes you feel real. Bard's music performance has been updated to end as soon as the last note is played. I don't actually know what this means in context for the game. Wait, I'll make sure you guys can actually see this on my screen. Okay, yeah, there's probably some stuff. Yeah, but I don't actually know what this means in the context of the game. Maybe it's like some sort of like bug fix where, I mean, I guess maybe it makes some songs like slightly shorter because, like, for example, like if you play the last note, there's a tiny bit of the song that's to continue. And I don't know. I guess that's what it is. So, like, the songs are technically slightly shorter now. That's cool. Bard's music duration readjusted to play the base duration relative persuasion. Relative to a persuasion rating of 15 instead of 20. I think I'm pretty sure that has to do with the buff duration. Bard's music duration readjusted to play the base duration relative to it. But yeah, I don't know. It's a Bard buff, I think. I don't really care. So, whatever. Just figure it out for yourself in game. I'm not a Bard player. Bard's Accelerando and Allegro base duration time has been adjusted. I don't see. This is something I hate. The base duration time has been adjusted. Was it increased? Was it decreased? We don't know. They didn't tell us. We'll have to find out when we play the game. So that'll be interesting, I guess. Damage for all daggers has been increased. Like I said, that's why they nerfed Dagger Mastery earlier. I think this is probably fine as long as it's not too much. And even if it is a little bit higher, it's okay because then you have to run a perk like Dagger Master to really make up for it. So you're not using, in case you're not going to use Rapier or Short Sword. The options for all copper, cobalt, and ruby silver items have been adjusted, and the detrimental options have now been removed. Fantastic. This didn't really matter as much for copper and cobalt. However, it pretty much made ruby silver completely unusable because ruby silver's like detrimental option was minus move speed, which is basically it's just death if you're running a full ruby silver kit. So now you can go back to being a lobster, get that free percent PDR. And with Rangers being buffed and Wizards being nerfed, Rangers are probably going to be more dominant in the meta now than Wizards are, so having more PDR will feel very good. Crossbows damage has been reduced again. Nothing that surprising there. Longbow damage has been increased, so this is one of the big things. Another thing, they buffed longbow damage while nerfing crossbow damage. Honestly, we're getting to that point where you could maybe run Weapon Mastery Longbow. Just if they keep dropping crossbow damage, and depending on how much it was reduced and how much longbow damage is increased, maybe you can run Weapon Mastery Longbow, who knows. But Rangers are about to literally two-shot Wizards, because Wizards are not going to be able to afford to build as much HP as before, because they're going to need will. So that's going to be cool. Great for us, because we don't care. Fighter players don't care about Ranger buffs. Ranger buffs are great for fighter players, because it means Wizards are less likely to be played. Longsword damage has been slightly increased. Viking sword damage has been increased. Crystal Ball's movement speed penalty has been reduced from 25 to 15. Great for Warlocks. Longsword's movement penalty has been reduced from 40 to 30. So actual really big longsword buffs. Really, really big longsword buffs. 10, like literally over, it's 3% movement speed off of your longsword. So now a longsword is going to be faster than a falchion plus a heater shield, which is actually pretty insane. It'll be faster than Falchion plus Heater, and it'll be faster than Arming Sword plus Heater too, actually, yeah. And along with their damage increase, Longsword could actually maybe be good now. Probably still won't be, but could be. Who knows? It just depends how much they increase the damage. Short sword movement speed penalty has been increased from 10 to 13. Movement speed penalty when attacking with a short sword changed from 10% to 25%. So this is a really, really big nerf to Rogue. And with them buffing daggers, it makes sense that they would do this because Rogues have pretty much only been using short swords. So now just innately short swords have a 1% higher movement speed penalty to have it equipped. And when you're swinging, you are 15% slower than before. A flat 15% too. So before, whenever you, what this literally what this means is before when you were swinging your short sword, it would take 10% movement speed off of you. So if you were at 100% when you started swinging it, then you would be at 90%. Now, if you're at 100% when you swing it, you will be at 75%. So that is a very, very big change, giant change. Morningstar animation has been slightly adjusted. I don't know. Obviously, we don't know what to mean. Chris Dagger's animation has been changed again. I mean, that's just like, check it off your patch note bingo. They always do that. Then they added Golden Viking Sword, Golden Felling Axe you can craft. Herbs have been added. They can be collected in the dungeons and used as a material for crafting potions. Magic Protection Potion has been added. Warhammer has been added. And several new magic resist armor items have been added, including the Ornate Jezerent, the Runestone Gloves, Dashing Boots, and Dark Leather Leggings. Honestly, I guarantee you none of this is going to be good for fighter. Maybe the Ornate Jezerent, because that sounds like it could be heavy. Same with the Runestone Gloves, but the Dashing Boots and Dark Leather Leggings are most likely going to be light to medium leather armor. Probably not going to wear that as a fighter. However, it's cool. And I mean, a Warhammer? I mean, if they've already shown, if it is what they've shown, the Warhammer's going to be a one-handed weapon. Could be really cool for fighters to wear. I'm excited for it. Just try, assuming we can use it, hopefully. And then a magic protection potion, obviously, is fantastic. That's super sick. And herbs that you can use to craft, craft potions with. That'll be cool as well. Maybe you can craft better health potions, luck potions, protection potions, hopefully. This could be really, really cool. And then a couple more things down here at the bottom. Elite Nightmare Direwolf behavior patterns have been added. Obviously, no one really cares about this. I mean, this is like very whatever. The spawn rate of gold ore has been lowered in Ruins Normal. So this is okay. This isn't as relevant because most people don't even farm gold in Norms Ruins anymore. They go HR to do it. However, it's probably like you probably get like one or two nodes on the map. This is a question. I think this is probably their most questionable change. High Roller, Cave Troll, and Cyclops now have the chance to drop unique loot. A treasure hoard has been added to their treasure room. See now, okay. I assume it'll have very few pulls. It probably won't have the same amount as HR Crypts. I hope not. I said this, I hope not. But I'm assuming it probably won't have the same amount of HR Crypts. And I imagine one of the main reasons they did this is so solo players have access to completing quests much easier. For example, like the 4 legendary gem quest. So it's much easier to complete that quest. And this one, High Roller Skull Room, Golden Key Room, Rusty Key Room, and Mystical Gem Room now have a chance to spawn unique loot. All these rooms now have a treasure hoard. Just as a basis, just want to throw this out there. I always said Skull Key Room. I didn't believe it could spawn uniques. People said it could. I said I want proof. I never had proof. And now there's proof that they're saying they now have a chance to do it. Also, this is weird to me. I don't understand why they added a treasure hoard to Skull Room when there's already one on the map behind the Ghost King. That's kind of strange to me. Uh, Yeah, I mean now literally what you can do is if you get a good zone, you can just pull two gold hordes. You kill the Ghost King, run and do Skull Key, then two of you are looting one pile, one of you's looting the other pile. If you have somebody that's fast and actually be like a rogue, they could definitely do it, pull the whole pile themselves. It's like I said, weird, don't know why they did it, but cool enough, I guess. The loot in Skull Key room did always feel underwhelming to me, so probably not the worst thing. I mean, the Skull Key is very rare too, so I guess it maybe makes more sense. The countdown timer and player count display has been modified to make it harder for pre-teamers to exploit. I assume this means the count, like, it probably just doesn't show the accurate amount, or it shows like a random amount or something, or it doesn't show at all. You can no longer spectate players from other teams in high roller matches. So this is good, but there's a big issue with this. There's a really big issue with this. And I'll get into it in a second. So, but okay, so the reason this needed to change, if you don't know, is what a lot of people were doing. I'm not gonna say a lot of people. What some people were doing that I'm sure many of you probably died to this, thought like, oh, they're cheating or something. They have ESP, but no. What people were doing is they would queue up. They would have their friend intentionally snipe their game like a like just a default character. Their friend would die to PvE, and then they would sit in like the call with them and spectate every team around the map and say, "Oh, these people are here. These people are here. These people are here." So you could just run straight to that team and kill them. This is not uncommon. It happened a bit, or a bit happened a lot. This happened in Goblin Caves a lot too. It happened a ton. Now you can't do this. So okay, but then the big issue with this, the player reporting system for high roller matches has been updated, and a pre-teaming reporting function has been added. So if I can't spectate these players, how am I supposed to report them? That's like the big thing. That's what I don't understand. Because like you have it like you have these people I can report for teaming, but I can't spectate them. So how do I report them? It doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. So I'm weird about it. It's weird, whatever. I don't know. Maybe they thought of it, maybe they didn't, maybe it's something to fix. Server regions are now restricted based on your latency to the servers. We will continue to adjust this feature based on the feedback and our data. This is good. This is like the ping lock they talked about. So people can't queue across servers really easily. So that's cool. New matchmaking system that will allow solos, duos, and trios play across all the different maps in the game. These maps will rotate based on a timer. See, now this is what I mean, they said they were going to do this, but I don't know exactly how this is going to work because it says that it'll rotate or wait, can you guys see this on here? Yeah, okay, yeah, you can see it on here. That's rotate based on a timer. So does that mean does that mean we can always queue the default maps? Like I can always play Trios Crypts, but sometimes I'll be able to play Trios Goblin Caves too? Or will I be forced to play Trios Goblin Caves and Crypts will be solos like that? Because I'm really hoping they didn't just add an entire another queue for the game. So now you have trios, crypts, trios crypts, HR crypts, then solo caves, solo HR caves, solo or duo ruins, duo HR ruins, and then an entire another set of queue, trio ruins, solo crypts, duo goblin caves, and so now there's like 10 plus queues in the game. Because I really hope they didn't do that. Because that would be really, really bad. Really bad. You do not want to add that many queues to your game. And I don't think they're understanding that. But it's what they keep doing. And so the thing is, but I really hope that they're not changing which map you're forced to play on. Because when I'm playing trios, don't want to be forced to play Goblin Caves trios. That sounds awful. The map does not, it just sounds horrible. I do not want to have to do that. But obviously, we're going to have to wait to get in game to see how it's actually like. Quest chapter system has been added. Additional chapters with new quests will be available in the future. Quest items can now be delivered one by one instead of all at once. That's really nice. Quests are added a class filter to the trading post. Now this is going to be a big one. I hope you guys are ready to gamble. Goblin Merchant now sells items that require gingerbread cookies. These special items requiring gingerbread cookies have a chance of giving a unique grade item, and at the worst will give a rare grade item. So gingerbread cookie prices are about to skyrocket. And people are about to be spam gambling on this Goblin Merchant. I'm going to do it. Trust me. I'm excited for it. But other than this, there's not really much to the patch notes. Like I said, there's a few questionable things. My main question mark is the new matchmaking system. I think this could be really cool, but I also think this could be one of the things that kind of kills the game if they're not careful. Like, I've been saying this for a very, very long time. They need to stop adding so many queues to this game. I said they never should have added HR Goblin Caves to begin with. Now we have 2 forms of Goblin Caves, 2 forms of Ruins, 2 forms of Crypts. That's already 6 queues that you can join. Now, if they add another 3, assuming they don't add one for High Roller, God forbid, if they add 6 more queues, we will have 12 potential queues in this game. Assuming, it's players get evenly split between all of them, that would be, if the game averages 10,000 players, that would be less than 1,000 players per queue. That would be horrible. And then you consider all the rankings that were split between. That's even worse. I really hope that's something they consider, because splitting your game into 2, even big games don't split their games into this, or split their player base this many people. Look at games like League of Legends. They don't split their player base into 12 different things. They have 5 game modes at a time, and that's even a lot. But yeah, this could be really good, it could be really cool, or it could be really bad. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. This will be it for the patch notes, and whenever I mean, the video will go up pretty soon. Like it'll be up before the patch is up. And if you want to, feel free to stop by my stream. I'll be streaming later tonight whenever the patch goes live. Just test out stuff, see how it is. And with that being said, feel free to leave your opinions on the patch down below. I'm excited for it. Hope you are too. And as always, I'll catch you guys later. Peace.